왔다. 왔다, 이노브나다.
What brings you here this time?
I'll protect you from any danger.
This ought to do it.
What a nuisance. Cycle of yin and yang. Scatter.
Coming through. You're gonna get dizzy.
Cycle of yin and yang. Release. Inadequate.
This ought to do it. Coming through.
Switch it still. Scatter.
What brings you here this time?
Asset confirmed. Preparing to move out.
Coming through! Healing sensor fired up! Yeah! Shokagu is here! Yeah! Time to
Take this!
roadkill!
Inadequate. Obliterate form and spirit. As decreed.
Out of my way! Shokagu is here! Yeah!
Let's make this quick. Let's make this quick.
This gotta do it! That's it! Out of my way! Yeah! This gotta do it! You're gonna get dizzy!
Obliterate form and spirit. Scatter.
This gotta do it! Hey! You wanna play with me?
Too slow.
Blow, blow, blow away your troubles! Yeah!
Regenerate form and spirit. As decreed. Take this.
Going the extra mile.
What a nuisance.
This ought to do it. You insisted, fired up! Blow, blow, blow away your troubles!
Cycle of yin and yang. As decreed.
Coming through! Buckle up! Blow, blow, blow away your troubles! Time to eat! This ought to do it. You're gonna get dizzy! You insisted, fired up!
Cycle of yin and yang. As decreed. Let's make this quick.
Blow, blow, blow away your troubles!
Weakling.
Get out of my way!
What brings you here this time?
Asset confirmed. Preparing to move out.
Wata wata.
Need something? Go ask my colleagues.
I can help you ward off misfortune and disaster.
Let's take a break.
Let's make this quick. Obliterate form and spirit. Scatter.
What a nuisance.
Inadequate. Obliterate form and spirit. Release. performance here.
Asset confirmed. Preparing to move out.
Ooh, we really harmonize. Is the concert starting?
I only handle technical matters. Let's start the experiment.
Zzzero Yanagi, awaiting orders.
You have my complete
Only the brave will win.
That's me!
What brings you here this time? Asset confirmed. Prepare.
Let's take a break.
Good day.
I'll beat everyone!
This is the path I follow.
Need something? Huh? You sure you want me to join?
Swift yet still. As decreed.
Break away in one hit!
Strength and finesse. Cut through chaos. It's over. Victory, the only option. I'm unstoppable.
Who's the pathetic one now? Combat isn't my thing!
Evil shall be purged.
The cold is silent.
I'm cruising now.
Nothing slips through my defenses.
And the winner is me! Get out of my way!
Removing threat.
Strike zone!
Get still. Release. What a nuisance. Swift yet still, clear yet murky.
Shadowless blade.
For real this time. With a clear mind, arrows fly through. Combat isn't my thing.
Purging slash!
Form and spirit. As decreed.
Weakling. The cold is silent.
For real this time. Who's the pathetic one now?
Swift yet still, clear yet murky.
I swear on my blade.
Final warning.
You have no means of escape. The best defense is a strong offense.
Kick into gear. And the winner is me.
Removing threat.
The best defense is a strong offense.
Load up and pull out. Direct hit. I'm cruising now.
are now sealed.
Great catch!
What's up?
Looks like you found the replica relic I reverse engineered using the data from work.
So this etheric coagulum is a replica relic?
Yup. Do you remember what I told you? The Institute seems to have used Geppetto's data to develop a new type of etheric coagulum in their hollow research lab. The end product of these experiments resembles the relics of powerful ethereals, but we can't confirm if those experiments used Geppetto's samples, so I labeled them replica relics. If the Institute can make it, I can too. However, aside from the ones I left in the hollow, other similar relics you might encounter during your exploration actually come from the Institute's hollow research lab. I'm certain they function just like my replicas, so you can consider them the same thing. Unfortunately, we don't have much info on Geppetto, so I can only speculate on the effects of the etheric coagulum based on my own data. Follow-up experiments are needed to confirm finer details.
Follow-up experiments? Are you suggesting that I use the etheric coagulum during my investigations and see how it affects my performance in combat?
I apologize. It might sound a little risky, but that's precisely it. Please, do not worry. We have studies that confirmed the relics of ethereals can affect hollow combat. My experiments simply swap the data source to Geppetto. And I've personally tested them in the hollow to the best of my abilities. Still, it's not zero risk. If you're really concerned, forget I said anything. I can finish the remaining experiments myself.
No need to explain. If we're testing our theories on Geppetto, we need to find out what the Institute is hiding. Even if you didn't ask, I'd still bring them along with me in my investigations to verify their effects.
All right. Thank you for trusting me. However, I do have to warn you. Although it is very likely that the etheric coagulum will work against Geppetto, there is also a chance that it might negatively impact your hollow exploration. If you've decided to take some with you, just be careful.
the Lost Void? What are you all doing here?
We could ask you the same. Since you did help open the bunker, we won't question your motives for entering Hollow Zero. Got that, independent investigator? Or should I say, Hollow Raider? Either way, you'd better mind your own business. If you're smart and keep it to yourself, we could even help each other out the next time we cross paths. But if you can't take a hint and insist on poking your nose where it doesn't belong...
You sure talk big for someone who couldn't even open the bunker. And I see no proof that you're authorized to be here. Careful. I doubt Captain Roland would be happy about this.
Don't make me laugh. What we're up to is way above Roland's pay grade. That thing lurking around here is only one of our targets. Anyway, please kindly butt out and get lost. Otherwise, you may end up tangled in the strings of the puppeteer. And you'll be stuck wandering here until you turn into an ethereal.
Nothing slips through my defenses.
Final warning.
Nothing slips through my defenses. Don't even try.
I pledge my honor!
Solid hit. Just finishing the job.
Watch and learn!
Solid hit. Everything's under control.
The ethereals here haven't changed. Their attacks are well organized. Clearly, they're still under Geppetto's command. How are things on your end? Did you encounter anything unusual?
What do you mean by unusual? I did encounter some annoying and incompetent mercenaries and a broken extraction tower.
Mercenaries. And an extraction tower. Oh, that's right.
I was forced into combat and had to fix a broken extraction tower. That's not right, is it?
Oh, sorry. Let me explain. After going through the Institute's data on replica relics, I suspect that they've known about Geppetto all along and collected loads of data from it. But neither the Institute nor the military has tried to take down Geppetto. On the contrary, they're letting the ethereals roam the Lost Void under its control. So they must think Geppetto's well supervised and don't see a reason for drastic measures. Those mercenaries you ran into were probably hired by the Institute to check on Geppetto regularly.
You make a fair point. But if they come here regularly, how did they get trapped in the bunker?
That's because the situation with Geppetto has exceeded their expectations. Like you said, the etheric extraction tower was destroyed. Whether by sabotage or not, the ether currents clearly affected Geppetto and the ethereals it controls. Geppetto and its subordinate ethereals lost control and launched an unprecedented attack that overwhelmed the mercenaries. Their planned routes and tactics have all failed. They had to take shelter in the bunker and got stuck until you found them.
So Geppetto has always been under the Institute's watch, which means the replica relics should work against it, right? I guess that's good news for us.
We can't say for sure yet. For now, the Dark Wall is on the back burner. Our top priority is Geppetto. It was already strong, let alone a Geppetto that's gone berserk. One thing is for sure. You can count on the etheric coagulum, whether it came from me or leaked from the Institute's lab. After collecting enough replica relics, I can already predict Geppetto's movements through the changes in ether activity. Let's keep tracking it. But do be careful.
Out of the way. Don't even try. Nothing slips through my defense.
Great catch!
Just finishing the jump.
I'm here. Make way for the undefeated champion!
A beautiful shooting star! Watch out!
Neutralize them.
Heads up.
I won't betray your... Nothing slips through my defense.
Amazing play! Eyes on me! To the rescue!
Countering. Removing threat.
Make way for the undefeated champion!
A beautiful shooting star!
Removing threat. Your journey ends with me. Heads up.
There it is! Buzz off!
I'll take point.
Geppetto is leaving. We have to go after it.
Sorry, I'm afraid I'll have to ask you two to stay here. What happens next is none of your concern.
Are you going to stop us? Why don't you go sort out that bunker access first?
Is that the military bunker? Shall I get in touch with Captain Roland for you?
You?
That's enough. Let me speak with them.
Understood.
And who are you? Sorry, we're busy chasing after Geppetto. Not that it concerns you.
Please be patient. Apologies for our previous discourtesy. It was our mistake. We only recently learned that you're... In any case, as an exceptional independent investigator, you have the right to know more about the situation. Please trust in our goodwill. As long as you don't push further into Hollow Zero, we can provide you with all the information you want, plus more useful tools like the replica relics. Furthermore, as a token of our apology and respect, we will also provide you with another piece of information before you leave Geppetto's territory.
And what information is that?
Have you ever considered that powerful corrupted entities might not just be an act of nature, but rather something created by people?
What? Who are you? And what exactly do you mean?
We'll leave it at that. If the opportunity arises, I'll be in touch. Oh, and one more thing. I've received your weekly report, Miss Ray. Your QA engineer has been distressed about your hypervigilance on the Institute's data security. So, based on his suggestion, and in light of your contributions investigating Geppetto, you have been granted extended clearance. You don't need to trouble your bamboo to write reports anymore.
What brings you here this time?
This is the path I follow.
Is it work time? Is food... Let's hit the road.
You must be Ishwan Shifra. I've heard a lot about you.
Captain Roland. I remember you. You're the Defense Force liaison at Scott Outpost. What brings you to Swabian Temple today?
It's about the outpost. We recently rescued a number of independent investigators from Hollow Zero during a routine patrol. They were all exhibiting signs of miasma exposure.
Miasma? How peculiar. The presence of miasma has greatly diminished since the fall of the old capital. I've only seen it in Lemnian Hollow in the past few years. But if it's manifesting in Hollow Zero, that certainly is unprecedented.
We had some researchers from Waifei Peninsula check the investigators' condition. It turns out that the symptoms were indeed caused by miasma corruption. It was not some coincidence or shared delusion of any kind.
Well, the line between what's real and what's imagined is often far thinner than people would believe.
Huh?
Let's get back to the matter at hand.
The independent investigators had all the proper gear, compliant carrots, clear routes, the works. But they wouldn't give us any credentials, ID, or explain what they were doing in Hollow Zero. Since we didn't have proof of them breaking any rules, we couldn't force them to tell us the source of their carrot. So all we could do was plan out routes based on the locations where we rescued them, and investigate from there.
I see. So what is it that you seek from me?
The route we're taking next is in close proximity to the Lost Void, and not many investigators are qualified to go that deep. I heard that you have a way to effectively suppress miasma. We were hoping you would join us in this investigation.
I've consulted the divination. The key to solving this matter lies not with me, but with one whom I will encounter on this trip. The signs suggest that we may still find what we seek if we set off now.
Really? In that case, now's the perfect time to go.
Not quite.
Oh? How long should we wait then?
The most opportune moment was yesterday.
Then I guess we'd better get moving. Do you need to inform your disciples before we depart?
This is but a small errand. No need to trouble them.
What about the talisman you'll use to suppress the miasma? Don't you need to prepare those?
Rather than preparing the talismans beforehand, I think we'd better play it by ear.
I will pick out. Take this. It's over.
Hi. You must be the help that Captain Roland mentioned?
Correct. And since you've yet to insult me, I presume you're Orphe?
Yes, that's me. Sorry, she doesn't feel like talking right now. I'm not the best at analysis, but let me give it a go. We've located a few coordinates. There was the one from earlier, and...
I'll take it from here. I'm sure Captain Roland has already filled you in about the miasma victims we found in Hollow Zero.
Yes, the ethereal we faced just now was clearly spawned from miasma. There's no longer any doubt. Miasma has clearly taken root in Hollow Zero.
I knew it!
I told them that ages ago. I can't believe those higher-ups are bringing in outside help. What are they thinking? We could have handled this ourselves.
Hold on. The whole miasma thing is already bad enough. And now suspicious investigators are showing up in the hollow? We can't just...
Whatever. Just finish what you're saying and let's get moving. All this time we wasted talking to her could have been spent wiping out another wave of ethereals.
Oh, I'm okay.
Anyway, we're trying to figure out a pattern to the victim's coordinates and see if those locations can be traced back to the source of the miasma. But the coordinates we got don't exactly match the areas where the miasma readings are the strongest. What do you think? Should we keep chasing this lead?
With just the four of us, it's unlikely that we'll be able to pinpoint the flow of miasma. I suggest we split up and follow the coordinates of those suspicious individuals.
Are you bored?
Purging Slash! You should know. Buckle up! Buckle up! Our evil shall be purged!
it weren't for you, I would have died here in the Lost Void. All for a few measly dennies.
To risk one's life for money is hardly uncommon. But surely it wasn't just a few measly dennies that led you all the way here, no?
Yeah, the pay is pretty good. But given your abilities, you probably don't need any.
Why don't you tell me how much? Huh. Wow. Heavens, that much? I'm so jealous. Quick, tell me, who's your employer?
Huh?
I mean, why don't you tell me what brings you here to the Lost Void?
Okay, you did save my life, so I've got nothing to hide from you. My teammates and I risked everything to come out here and mine a rare type of ether crystal. Our employer always provides us with carrots and gives us marked routes to follow. As for what those crystals are used for, we've asked before, but they've never given us a straight answer.
So, your employer discovered a hidden vein of ether crystals here in the Lost Void.
No, not exactly. Each time they send us out, they give us different carrots and destination coordinates. We never really know what the paths are like until we're already en route. And honestly, there were even a few times when it felt like we ended up in the exact same fissure as before. But I remember the crystals hadn't been there the last time we passed by.
A mobile crystal stalagmite formation. Interesting. And what about miasma? Did you or your companions ever encounter any? Or perhaps any ethereals spawn from it?
Miasma? What's that?
Okay, let me phrase it differently. Have your coworkers been having any unusual dreams lately? Perhaps about suddenly making a fortune?
No. But they did mention they'd been dreaming lately. One of them dreamed of the fall of the old capital. In the dream, he missed the Defense Force's request for veteran backup due to a comms failure. And so, he evacuated his whole family early enough to make it safely to New Eridu. Another dream, she was given a perfectly accurate carrot route. She entered a companion hollow alone and was able to save the dog that had been with her for 10 years. To be honest, I also had a dream. I saw my sister. She... Never mind.
I know what you encountered now. As for what happened in your dreams, I won't press you further. There's no need to reopen old wounds. Once you get out, remember to take some time and learn about miasma. But for now, give me a copy of the carrot you used on this trip, and... Take this. You should leave as soon as you can.
You're from Yunquay Summit? Then, here, take this. I'm never coming back to this place again, but this is something our employer gives us every time. Consider it a sort of special supply. Maybe it'll be helpful to you, too. Or perhaps it'll give you some clues?
Cycle of yin and yang. As decreed. Unstoppable. Weakling.
Get out of my way!
What a nuisance.
Get out of my way! I'm cruising now. Let's make this quick. Swift and decisive!
Ishwan Shifu, did you manage to...
Yes, those victims you mentioned were not investigators. They were hired to enter the Lost Void and illegally mine ether crystals.
Ether crystals? I mean, sure, if that's what they're after, I get it. Ether crystals can be refined into ether energy. But even the ones in Hollow Zero aren't much different from those in any companion hollows. Why risk everything to come all the way into the Lost Void for crystals?
There's only one way to know for certain. We should see for ourselves.
You mean, you know where they were headed?
I happened to encounter one of the miners. I asked her a few questions and acquired her carrot. If regular ether crystals aren't worth all the risks, then her employer must be seeking something far more rare, something that moves on its own.
Moving ether crystals? How is that even possible?
Is it so unbelievable? The hollows are teeming with countless moving ethereals, fissures, and hollow raiders. Is it really so unthinkable that one or two of those beings may like roaming around while carrying ether crystals?
Really? You don't find it strange?
Every person or ethereal has their own ambitions. But those fake investigators, they knew nothing of miasma.
Okay, I see. Then what are we supposed to do now? Are we really going to chase some walking ether crystals through the hollow?
The woman I encountered, her being stranded may have been an unexpected incident to her employer as well. She gave me a useful supply item, and assuming nothing has changed, her carrot should still be working.
A supply item? What kind? Hold on. I think I've seen something like this before. It looks like gear from Rusty Cliff. If she's with Tops, then yeah, it makes sense why she knows so much about the Lost Void. But the question remains, if it's just some fancy kind of ether crystal, why all the secrecy?
If this matter is entangled with affairs outside the hollow, then it lies beyond my concern. But here in the Lost Void, I gave you my word, so I shall do all I can to help you gather more clues. If the connection between this incident and miasma turns out to be a mere coincidence, then I shall have my disciples carry out a separate investigation. For now, let us head to the destination indicated by the carrot as soon as we can.
weakling.
Get out of my way! Kick into gear!
Swift yet still, clear yet murky. Awaken!
Roadkill!
Too slow! I swear on my blade. Unstoppable. It's over.
Healing sense is fired up! Buckle up!
Evil shall be purged. Inadequate. Cycle of yin and yang.
The ether crystals here aren't the usual variety. I can't really tell what's special about them either. Ishwan Shifu, anything on your end?
Just an ethereal who likes roaming around with ether crystals on its back.
Wait, so it actually does exist? Are you talking about one of the ethereals we just fought? But they didn't seem...
No. The ones just now were no different from the miasma-corrupted ethereals in Lemnian Hollow. But here, I see signs of a much bigger ethereal. A true large ethereal, the kind worthy of a dedicated entry in White Star Institute's exploration records. Not the weaklings we just faced.
So the large ethereal, does it have anything to do with the rare ether crystals here?
From what I can tell, it seems more like a traveler in a rush, leaving their luggage behind.
Then what about the miasma? What's the connection between the two?
Captain Roland, have you ever seen someone toss a coin into a wishing pool?
Of course, but...
From what I hear, you're one of the few academics in the Defense Force, and you're familiar with the many strange phenomena of Hollow Zero. But as for myself, I'm merely a newcomer. I cannot deduce the movement patterns of a large ethereal with only scattered crystal remains and traces of miasma. Your expectations may be a bit much even for a wishing pool.
Sorry.
The miasma readings in the area are still fluctuating. We should keep moving. As for the miasma, I'm afraid this is as far as we can investigate for now. The miasma here seems to share the same source as that in Lemnian Hollow. Those investigators were likely tailing that large ethereal. Her miasma contamination may simply have been an unforeseen incident. Whether Lemnian Hollow or Hollow Zero is the true origin of the miasma remains unclear, but if I had to choose, I would place my bet on Hollow Zero. There are too many mysteries surrounding the miasma. I can only hope there isn't another place in the world like Hollow Zero, a place that completely defies all normal logic.
Understood. I'll take some samples from these crystals and send them somewhere safer. I'll ask someone at the outpost to help analyze them. If there are any new developments, I will contact you immediately. After the last investigation, Magus and Trigger had brought back similar ether crystal samples. I compared them and passed everything on to Ray.
That's right. Given that there have been previous encounters with another large ethereal, I decided to search the archives for any matching records on these crystals.
Any findings?
If we're talking about the Association's databases, then no, nothing at all. Luckily, Roland brought up that this might be connected to Rusty Cliff. And when it comes to understanding a big company, I reckon the best place to look is their financial reports. Ishu and Shifu, are you familiar with the scope of Rusty Cliff's business?
I'm afraid not. Please, go ahead.
Compared to a traditional mining group, Tops's Rusty Cliff has some unusual revenue entries. Part of their profits are attributed to an ethereal named Hoba. People used to think they profited from ethereals by just collecting samples from ones they encountered while exploring hollows, and then using them to produce precious relics or other hollow exploration supplies. But that kind of revenue should be pretty unstable, especially since HSO isn't supposed to let creatures like that roam freely in the hollows.
Unless those crystals are rare.
Exactly. If the real thing Rusty Cliff has been profiting from is some special kind of ether crystal they found on Hoba, then it all makes sense. Maybe Hoba simply likes collecting ether crystals, and the company just robs it all the time. Or maybe it nests in fissures where those crystals naturally grow, and they keep raiding its home for valuables.
Unfortunately, we don't even know what makes the crystals profitable.
We'll need more info to ascertain that.
What about the miasma?
Unfortunately, I searched every database I have access to for the keywords Rusty Cliff and Hoba, but I didn't find anything linking them to miasma.
So the miasma's just a coincidence? No, it can't be.
I agree. It's unlikely that Hoba and miasma just randomly cross paths in Hollow Zero.
Sorry, if there is nothing further, then I have something I need to tell you. I'm afraid other tasks require my attention at Yunquai Summit. As for the mysteries of Hoba, miasma, and those ether crystals, I shall leave them in your hands. Should you need further assistance...
If what we need is an outstandingly sharp and talented investigator, then I think we've found the best candidate.
Indeed.
Hold on. You mean me?
You are indeed an excellent candidate.
My most trusted independent investigation team captain. I'll be counting on you.
There's no rush for the moment, though. I'm still trying to gain clearance for a related file. If I manage to get it, I'll be in touch right away.
Got it. In the meantime, I'll keep analyzing these ether crystals. Let's see what's so special about them. Thanks to you, the Institute gave me access to the files that were classified. In a hidden directory, I saw another familiar name along with Geppetto, who, by the way, is now back under the Institute's watch after you defeated it.
Let me guess. Nineveh?
That's correct. As expected of my most trusted independent investigation team captain. All it took was that one hint from my, mystery superior for you to connect the dots. Powerful corrupted entities created by people. That's unsettling. At least we've got more time now to unravel these mysteries. I'll contact you as soon as I have more information, and we can investigate Hollow Zero together again.
Of course. Feel free to contact me anytime you have news. I can't get what they said out of my mind.
Right, there's one other thing. I think I mentioned before that our outpost is planning to renovate. Following the Geppetto going berserk incident, the outpost has finally started demolishing its hangar and logistics station. They should be removing the last bit of the metal frames right about now. If you're interested, you can head to the observation deck to check out the view now. No matter how many times I see it, the fractured land in front of Hollow Zero still weighs on my mind.
What a nuisance. What a nuisance. What a nuisance. Obliterate form and spirit. As decreed.
Buckle up!
Take this. The light is but one step away.
Pedal to the metal!
An opportunity. Look out! Swift yet still, clear yet murky. Let's make this quick.
Red light! Good! Healing session fired up! I'm cruising now!
Insignificant grapple. Cycle of yin and yang. As decreed. Let's make this quick. Victory, the only option. It's over.
Out of my way!
Leave it to me. Fine.
Take it easy.
To the skies! Soar with the wind. Look out.
Awaken!
I'll watch over you. To the skies!
My blade is already. Ambush! Kick into gear!
Let's make this quick. Obliterate form and spirit. Act swift yet still. Clear yet murky.
You're done! Scatter! On the road.
Step back. Let me handle this. To the skies! Look out! Yin and Yang converge. Soar with the wind. and resting here for a while. Leave it to me.
Fine. This ought to do it. Ambush! Stay out of my way!
Step back.
Fine. If there's nothing to do,
Leave it to me. Soar with the wind. Since we're waiting, why not do a fortune reading? Since we're... There's no harm in resting here for a while.
Grip yet still. Release. Weakling. I'm unstoppable. Yeah! Buckle up! Concentrate. Weakling. Inadequate. Buckle up! I'm cruising now. Evil shall be purged. Awaken. No kill. Too slow. I swear on my blade. Again. Zen 4! Leave it to me. To the sky!
no better choice for kickstarting your morning. Crafted brew. Oh, no goodbyes needed. You'll be back.
What are you gonna see this time? Come back soon! Enjoy the movie magic! Come back soon!
is like a soothing melody, truly unforgettable. Come back again soon.
What brings you here this time?
Asset confirmed. Preparing to move out.
What flavor of music would you like to try today? Take your time.